Saskatchewan Roughrider RB Cameron Marshall. Photo The Canadian Press CFL.CA Staff Edmonton. The Saskatchewan Roughriders snapped their winless record on the road with a 5,431 victory at Commonwealth Stadium over the Edmonton Eskimos on Friday night. The win improved the Riders to 13 away from Mosaic Stadium and handed the Eskimos their first loss at home as Saskatchewan dominated in all three phases of the game. The Roughriders' defense continued their dominance from their Week 8 contest against the BC Lions, collecting 2 pick-sixes in the win. The offense also scored 4 times, thanks to Nauman Roosevelt, Cameron Marshall, Duron Carter and Vernon Adams Jr. and special teams got in on the scoring action as well, with Willie Jefferson scooping and scoring his own blocked punt. Kevin Glenn connected on 19 of 31 passes for 240 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, while Mike Riley finished connecting on 15 of 26 passes for 160 yards and 2 interceptions, while also adding in a touchdown on the ground. Duke Williams led all receivers with 101 yards on 6 catches, and Roosevelt was just behind with 81 yards on 7 catches to go along with his major score. Both teams exchanged 2-and-outs on their first possessions of the ballgame as they started to feel each other out. Duke Williams got into the game early on the Eskimos' second drive as Mike Riley found him for a 34-yard gain. Shamad Chambers, in his first start of the season, was the ESK's pivot's next target to get within inches of the first down. Riley fumbled his quarterback sneak looking for that first down, and Sam Rabor recovered the ball, bringing the Riders' offense back to the field. Roughriders QB Kevin Glenn escaping trouble. Photo Walter Tyknovich CFL.CA. That turnover led to a major for the Riders as Roosevelt caught a Kevin Glenn pass deep in the end zone with one hand for the score. The touchdown was Glenn's 15th touchdown pass of the year and just his second on the road. The drive started with a Rob Bag catch to bring Saskatchewan into Edmonton territory. Glenn then aired it out to Roosevelt, bringing the Riders inside the 30-yard line. Marshall then made a 20-yard gain, running out of bounds at the 8-yard line. The first attempt for the Riders' pivot looking for the end zone was to Nick Dembski, who had the pass go off his fingers. But Glenn's second attempt was successful to Roosevelt for 6. If the Saskatchewan Roughriders were worried about their 0-3 record on the road, they didn't show it as they took an early 70 lead. The Riders' defense also took the momentum from their impressive outing in Week 8 early in the contest, forcing the Eskimos to 2 punts and a fumble in their first 3 drives. Edmonton's defense pushed back, however, forcing the Riders to punt on their next possession. Jamil Smith made his mark in his first game with the Eskimos, returning Josh Bartle's punt 35 yards, giving the ESK's good field position. But the ESK's offense couldn't make anything happen, and the Riders' defense forced them to punt once again. Jefferson blocked Hugh O'Neill's punt, recovered it and brought it to the house himself for the Riders' second touchdown of the night off a turnover. With Tyler Crapinya's convert kick, Saskatchewan took a 140 lead with just over 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Edmonton started driving down the field as the opening quarter expired, and Brendan Zylstra, in his return after missing 2 games to injury, caught a 33-yard pass to bring the ESKs to the 1-yard line. Riley then plunged in for the home team's first score of the ballgame. But the Eskimos' momentum was taken right away after O'Neill's convert kick was blocked and Carter took it out of the end zone and all the way down the field, adding 2 points to the Riders' score and extending their lead to 166. On Saskatchewan's next drive, Adams Jr. made his Riders' debut that led to Crapinya adding 3 more points to his team's lead with a 20-yard field goal. When the Riders seemed to be rolling once again, Johnny Adams notched an interception after Glenn's pass went off Roosevelt's hands inside the red zone. With just 15 seconds left in the half, the Riders weren't done scoring just yet. Photo Walter Tyknovich CFL.CA. Under pressure and as he was falling, Glenn flipped the ball to Marshall, who dodged himself into the end zone for the Riders' third major of the night and extended their lead to 266 as the first half concluded. Kenny Ladler blocked Crapinya's 43-yard field goal attempt to start the third quarter, and Alex Hoffmaelis recovered it for Edmonton. Both teams traded offensive possessions for most of the third frame as their defenses stood tall. The next score came late in the quarter, after Jovan Johnson picked off Riley and took it 40 yards for another Riders touchdown. The 11-year CFL veteran's score extended Saskatchewan's lead to 336. Things didn't get better for the Eskimos pivot, as Casey Rogers also intercepted Riley on the Eskimos' next drive and ran it into the end zone. The second pick-six of the game extended the lead to 407. Edmonton scored on their next possession. O'Neill punted the ball away and Kachi Muamba scored the touchdown on a misplayed punt return by Demiski. The ESKs then went for two as Riley found Williams, cutting the Riders' lead to 4,015 early in the final frame as the home team looked for a spark. The Riders' defense added to their takeaways on the night after recovering a Riley fumble, bringing Saskatchewan's offense back onto the field. Adams Jr. scored his first touchdown as member of the Roughriders late in the fourth, as he scurried around the line of scrimmage to run untouched into the end zone. That score extended the Riders' lead to 4,715. James Franklin made his season debut on the ESK's next drive that led to a Ladarius Perkins touchdown with just over 3 minutes left in the contest. The ESK's two-point convert was successful to Kenny Stafford to cut the Riders' lead to 4,723. The Riders still weren't done scoring. Carter scored another major for the visiting team with just over 1 minute left in the contest as he stretched into the end zone. Franklin passed to Bryant Mitchell with just 16 seconds left to add a touchdown to the Eskimos' point total, but it wasn't enough and Edmonton was handed their second loss of 2017. Saskatchewan heads home next week to take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers while the Eskimos take a trip to Calgary for a tussle with the Stampeders.